roster full of guys who were either given up on or getting their second or third chance season. Russell's getting his first taste of the postseason. He's raised his scoring average slightly, but has been way less efficient so far, and the Nets have been outscored.
Clearly, you guys haven't gotten the job done these last two games. Clearly, you guys haven't gotten the job done these last two games. Are you making any lineup changes? I mean, you alluded to that as a possibility.
We'll let you know, later. Like, we got to figure that one out as a media league. We got to figure that one out as a media league. So, I normally I'd give it 60.
Balance your team playing defense on Ben Simmons in terms of having space against him, because his shooting is not his forte. But if you do that, he can have head of steam.
Dave, you're on it. Like it's a conundrum. Where's your pickup point on him? I remember playing Rajon Rondo in the playoffs as an assistant. And that was the big thing. You go under on everything. If you go back on him, he's going to pick you apart. If you get up on him, he's going to drive you. So we gotta figure that one out. I think it's definitely an issue. You have to watch a game tonight, see if we make some adjustments there.
Kenny, in the start of each third quarter of the play.
Kenny Atkinson's being asked about lineup changes because his starters have been outscored by 118 so far. Kenny Atkinson's being asked about lineup changes because his starters have been outscored by 118 so far through 3 games.
Part of the challenge, Brendan, is that the bench has been so good all year because you utilize the bench to come in and give you energy. Once you change that up, you don't have the same kind of makeup, but you're in a tough situation right now in the playoffs where you have to make adjustments. We talked about it. Joe Harris not shooting the ball extremely well. Team to say, look, we got to do what it takes to win, but also give yourself a chance to win with the best lineup on the floor and force Philadelphia to have to adjust.
A lot of times it just comes down to philosophy. Some coaches believe in we do what we do and we don't change things up. Like some coaches believe when you get in the playoffs, sometimes you have to adjust to your opponent and how guys are playing in those moments. But one of the biggest things I see is that I think D'Angelo Russell is going to still, no matter who's starting or not, D'Angelo Russell is going to have to be a major part, a major key in this team stepping up and winning because he played so well this year. And more importantly, he has one of the highest usage rates in the NBA, higher than Kemba Walker, same usage rate as the NBA, higher than Kemba Walker, same usage rate as LeBron James. So when he's off, it definitely affects the team. If you look at his field goal percentage and his three-point percentage, they're clearly down from the playoffs. I mean, from the regular season.
But how do you think about this, though? As a young player in this position right now, he's in pole position. He's the leader of the team. He hasn't been here. So now you're trying to fit between, okay, I still have to be aggressive offensively, but I have to get my teammates involved. And that's a challenge for a first-year point guard in regards to being in this position. So you're navigating through all of this, and you're not as effective as you were during the regular season because now defenses have adjusted to you.
Yeah, it just hasn't been efficient at all. He's taken a lot of shots so far, and we mentioned the plus minus. It's not good. It's not strong. Not a strong
State guy. Trying to give him love, though.
Ben Simmons dominated Game 3. Will he have his running mate Joel Embiid in the lineup? We still don't know.
We'll see.
When we know, you'll know.
I wonder what Jared.
may not
I wonder what Jared Dudley got to say about Ben Simmons right now. Can we get some Jared Dudley quotes? Yo, Jerry, hit my line, man. Hit my line.
He came in the other day and I... Brett Brown says the 76ers are as different as night and day. With and without Joel Embiid in the lineup, Ben Simmons' responsibilities changed pretty significantly too, and he dominated in Game 3, with a near-perfect shooting night for his 31 points, not to mention 9 assists, a couple steals, and 3 blocks. Brett Brown, a few moments ago, on the Embiid situation and where it stands.
Brett, is it fair to assume Joel is going to be a game-time decision today?
That is correct.
So what is the process like for you in terms of communicating with him about his soreness? Is that just you wait until right before the game and he just says, I'm good to go? Or is that...
Pretty much.
Are you getting constant updates from him?
I mean, this is what I've learned, because this is a repetitive situation, as in Philadelphia we know, and now here we're sharing it with New York. This is just my personal strategy or approach that I'm able to absorb to whatever the news is. Like, I have plan A and plan B. And I think that our guys have grown to realize the same thing. And so it's the best I can explain it. It's the truth. And, you know, we go with whatever we got. And, you know, if he can't go, you know what I'll do. And if he can go, we'll you know, absorb him back into this and welcome him with open arms.
Brett, you've tightened the rope.
Welcome him with open arms.
Brett, you've tightened the rotation, and they're still going 9 or 10 deep. And it seems like, especially the last 2 games, it seems like that's really worked for you guys. You've been really effective playing your, you know, regulars a lot of minutes. Just talk about the difference that's made.
Well, it's directly proportional to James and his health. Kind of end the story. And you know, when James is able to go, you know, 18, 20 something minutes, then you feel like you got what you need without burning guys down, and we can sub it effectively. Back when, you know, he either was, back when, you know, he either wasn't available or there were minute restrictions, that luxury strategy, call it what you want, didn't exist in my eyes. And so, to your point, yes, we did do what you said. I suspect we'll do it again. And probably the out is Jonah. You know, where does he factor into this if a track meet occurs tonight that does not favor Boban? We have, I feel, an answer in Jonah.
Just to follow up on James Ennis, obviously.
Yeah, the Sixers in a good spot. Obviously, they got a chance to go up 3-1 today on the road. But how, I don't know even know what the word is, how tough a situation is this with Embiid? And just, you don't know from game to game what you're going to get, if he's going to be in the lineup, if he's not going to be in the lineup. Everybody's waiting until literally minutes before tip to find out.
This is an incredibly tough situation, not just for the coaching staff, but for his teammates. Because when you're playing with Embiid, it's a totally different style than when you're playing without him. They play a lot, usage goes up when he's not in the game. So this is one of those situations for me. If he has to warm up and tell me if he's ready to play, I probably would sit him. Right. Because I need a guy, I'm thinking long picture, I'm thinking the long game of the situation, and this team should be good enough, even without Embiid, to take care of Brooklyn. They have a little bit of a lead in this series. I would probably sit him regardless, just because right now I'm not trying to throw everybody off right before the game. I'd rather them know Embiid's not going to play. We're going to play this type of style. Ben, we're going to play through you and Tobias and Jimmy, and let that be that.
You know, the other part of this equation, though, and Roz talked about it at the top of the show, is his conditioning, their repetitions as a group. I mentioned they've still only played 12 games together with that new starting lineup.
Yeah, it's been tough because I think all season just trying to figure out how to play Embiid without the over. If you're the Sixers, this is a series you want this to happen if it's going to happen. Yeah. Against a Brooklyn team that you feel confident that if Embiid doesn't play, you still have the pieces of the puzzle that's going to get it done. So it's not a perfect situation, but at the same time, this is a time now you can develop some other type of chemistry, especially with Tobias Harris, if you get past this going into the second round.
What's the blueprint for a Brooklyn win today?
One, you better take advantage of opportunities, especially in transition. Defensively, be harassing, and get opportunities that way. And bottom line, you got to make some shots.
For Brooklyn, I think they have to be efficient in the pick and roll game and in the one-on-one matchups. I think in game one, when they had a lot of success, they put Boban in the mid-screen and roll. They took advantage of that, and they picked on J.J. Redick in game one. Whoever he was guarding, they went at him. I think you have to do that again. Make J.J. Redick defend.
Got to knock down some threes as well. They hit the
That
fifth
always,
most.
hey, making shots is always
They
the
were
magic
number 5
elixir.
in the NBA in threes. They take a lot
Jim,
of them.
who you got tonight,
Joe
man?
Harris
Philly
has
or
gotta
Brooklyn?
hit something.
I'm going with Philly, man.
I got Brooklyn.
TNT pregame.
Gentlemen's bet.
Bet.
Gentlemen's bet.
Post game.